Respect of our basic rights has become a top priority for many Europeans. And something that was supposed to strengthen those freedoms was the European Union Charter of Fundamental Rights, which came into force in 2009. But is it just words on paper, or something that can really lead to action on the ground?
You have economic rights, you have the right to free movement, you have political, social rights. Basically, this is what European citizenship is about. But there is still room for improvement because not all of European citizens know about that.
The Charter brings together a wide range of principles into one document, and raising awareness about how it can be used effectively is a key challenge. It's legally binding on EU states, but only when they apply European law. And it must also be respected by the institutions of the bloc. We've come to the Belgian capital to talk to some of those most likely to come across the Charter in their daily work. European officials maintain the document is already becoming a reality for people whose rights are under attack. To put that to the test, we caught up with some workers at a new independent legal help centre set up in January. The EU Rights Clinic is a joint venture between the NGO European Citizen Action Service and Kent University in Brussels.
It's a very important, pivotal document, a cornerstone. However, in my daily work, in my work here at the European Rights Clinic, I'm not going to look at the Charter as my first text of reference. I'm always going to look first at the national law, then the existing European legislation. And if I need to understand certain aspects of a problem and have more of a general look at things, well then yes, I will look at the Charter of Fundamental Rights.
We can make use of some of those rights in our work here at the Citizens' House Rights Clinic. We can use rights such as the freedom of movement for citizens, which has now become a fundamental right enshrined in the document. We can use it as a reference for our legal services insofar as giving legal advice to people in order to help them, as well as in our advocacy role.
In a new progress report on the Charter, the European Commission says national courts are increasingly referring to the document. It highlights the case where the Austrian Constitutional Court ruled that people can rely on the Charter when challenging local legislation. And it says the number of cases where the EU Court of Justice has quoted the text in its judgments almost doubled last year. Infringement proceedings against Malta and Hungary are also given as examples of where the principles of the Charter have been enforced. The report also shows what fundamental rights issues were most raised in correspondence with the European Commission. Top of the list was freedom of movement and residence, followed by the functioning of national justice systems and access to justice. Then there's the right to choose an occupation and work, the integration of disabled people, and the protection of personal data. But still, it seems a lot has to be done to make sure the Charter is better understood and more widely used. Rights organisations argue that while it's a crucial document, the question of exactly who's bound by it and under what circumstances remains difficult to work out.
It's true that there are more and more national courts that refer to the Charter. They also ask for more preliminary rulings, but at the same time it also indicates that there is a room for improvement because what is needed is further clarification of the scope of the Charter. We all know that it refers to actions undertaken by the European institutions or to EU law when it's applied on the national level. What this exactly means is still not clear, even for the courts. So this is also the reason why they are asking for preliminary rulings and clarifications.
The Charter will soon move in other directions, coming into force in Croatia, for example, when it joins the EU in July. A volunteer at the European Citizen Action Service has been helping prepare for the accession.
And there are some doubts in Croatia that this Charter will diminish the role of Croatian courts, but I think those doubts are not relevant. So yes, I think it's a good thing, And I think that the EU accession will bring more democracy and more protection to the rights of the citizens to Croatia.
Goran understands the importance of knowing our rights. He was actually detained for a few days when flying into Brussels because of confusion over his voluntary status. His case is being examined. Experts say we should all be better informed about our rights in a world where things often don't turn out as expected.